do it.
Yeah, waiting for that last moment where it was this moment where the rear mirror all of a sudden realizing this is about to and then
right. And so when you're sitting there and you're up on there and they're watching it like that and they're just waiting for it to crash and waiting for it to crash, and it is like a cum shot. Okay, waiting for it to crash. All right, and if at the last moment they want it, at that moment in time, they want it to happen as much as the bad guy does. They want it. That's what they paid to see. And if at the last moment they avert it.
That's blue balls.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. No, that is me. No, that's me, just director as torturer. Yeah. Director as fuck with ya. Because I can. During the 80s, when I wanted to make movies, which was probably one of the most repressive times in Hollywood cinema, was that kind of touchstone 80s era, and like there seemed to be so many rules about films as far as the heroes can't be this and they can't be that and they can't be unlikable and like everyone has to be likable for every second and all these kind of things. And one of my favorite cinematic scenes of all time was the opening scene in Pedro Almodovar's Matador, of the guy jerking off to slasher films. And I was like, oh man, that is touched by God genius moment. Opening shot of a guy jerking off to slasher films. That is so cool. I remember telling some of the guys at Video Archives that I worked at, I was like, man, I'd love to do an opening like that in a movie sometime. That would be really cool. And then somebody goes, yeah, they wouldn't let you. And my answer to this, and people have said little things like that all my life. And I'm like, who's they? There is nobody I have given nobody that kind of authority over me to say I can't do anything. I can do anything I want or I can achieve. It's up to me. I don't ask permission. I might ask forgiveness, but I don't ask permission. And there is no they. There is no they. And by saying that there's a they, you're creating a they.
And the winner is Fionna Apple.
Everybody out there that's watching, everybody that's watching this world is bullshit. And you shouldn't model your life. Wait a second. You shouldn't model your life about what you think that we think is cool and what we're wearing and what we're saying and everything. Go with yourself. Go with yourself. I was so miserable back then that I pretty much blocked out everything that happened back then. I know that I was real pouty, and I know that I was... and I know that I was also being yanked around everywhere, and that I had good reason to be pouty, but I just know that I was so miserable. The whole reason why I wanted to make an album in the first place was because I was so tired of trying to explain my personality to people. I was so uncomfortable with the social situations that I really, really thought that if I had a CD of songs, that I could just put that out in the world, and then everyone would understand me, and then I would have all the friends in the world. And of course, what happened to me in my particular situation, I think most people find out that what they thought, they thought if they got rich or if they got famous that everything was going to be solved, and it wasn't. But in my case, not only did I not get what I wanted, I got exactly the opposite of what I wanted to have happen. Instead of having everybody be my friend and understand me, everybody thought I was awful.
The entire time that we hung out and we knew each other was during my 6 years off.
Yeah.
And and I knew I was gonna make a movie again, but I was in no hurry. I was
I
really...
remember you just being like, you were...
I was happy living life.
Yeah.
And and in a weird way, it's funny, you're really one of the only people that I know that has done what I've done for the same reasons and what I consider the right reasons.
Yeah. I got a lot of shit too, after the last album, from people that were close to me, being like, you have to keep on working. You're being lazy. You have to get to the next thing. You're wasting what you've got. You've got this great opportunity. You've got,
Right.
And it's like, no, really, if I were to force myself to do it, then it would be crap.
Yeah,
And that's what a lot of people are so crappy about, and that's why people get awful and they lose their thing.
Directors don't get better as they get older. They get worse, all right? They get very out of touch.
Is there anybody that you can think of that's gotten better?
There's a couple of people, but not many, all right? And especially if, again, I'm not trying to be crude for effect, but, this.
Yeah.
When it goes soft, it goes soft. And it looks like it. You look like you're looking at movies by guys that can't get it up anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't write a song unless it serves me in some way where I feel like I have to write the song.
And
to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
If you're not overflowing with something, then there's nothing to give.
To me, the writing the dialogue is so easy. I actually feel just a touch of a fraud taking credit for it, even though I'm protective of it. I feel like, it's just like, it's like some sort of God antenna, and it's like, if it's,
And most of the time is spent with just keeping the antenna out there. That's like 90% of the time, and then all of a sudden you go, okay, I'm full, and you sit down wherever you're sitting down, and it goes, bleh. It's simple. If I end up writing songs that I want to record and sing, then I'll be doing this, hopefully, and then I want to do it. But if I don't want to do it just for the sake of doing it, like I don't want to do it and because I want to do it, I'm going to go and try to write songs. It's got to be the other way around. Like, if I write songs, then I'll be doing it. But if I don't feel like writing songs, I will not force myself to make an album, just pull one out of my ass just so that I can continue to be in the spotlight or something, or to continue to, it doesn't always have to be my career. There's no law that says that I have to have this as my career my whole life.
Here's the thing. They can write a mean letter. They can write a mean memo. But these guys don't really have any real fight in them. If you're a real artist and you will go all the way, and if you're an artist as opposed to a careerist, and your movie is more important to you than a career in this town, they can never beat you. You have a loaded gun in your waistbands, in your belt. You got a loaded gun, and it's filled with bullets, and you've got what it takes to put it in their face and blow their heads off. You have what it takes to do that. If you know you can go there, it's about never taking the gun out. It's about never touching the gun, never raising it, never pulling the trigger, never blowing their heads off. It's about not going there. It's about not doing it, but you know you can. So if you have to flash it, it means something.
With famed director Quentin Tarantino.
With once famous director.
Yeah. The Tarantino.
Let's get a beer. Take the edge off.
Okay.
Hey, y'all. Yeah. It's the boy band sing-along, right?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. I Want It That Way. The best song of the boy band era. Sing with me.
No! Oh, don't! I swear to God, I don't want to know.
It's right there. La Manitas. It is pop songs talking about heartbreak and falling in love that I listen to.
They're taking the feeling and making it as broad and as simple, and they're screaming it out.
And applicable to everybody who's listening to it.
Yeah, it's bright and shiny. I'm sad or I'm happy, and those are good to when you don't have to think about it, but you just feel it.
Right.
I really, really honestly do not know if I will ever write a song again, or if I'll... If you have just made something, you should fucking feel like you've got nothing left in you.
Yeah, I consider making Kill Bill like me climbing Mount Everest. That was a big mountain that I created, and I climbed it. And I taught myself